Welcome back, everybody. Tonight we are here at the Rob's Studio on a beautiful Saturday night, once again supporting the best in Texas metal. Brings me great pleasure to welcome a band to the program that I have been talking about for the last few weeks. Yes, from Austin, the band called Snakefather is here, and I have the entire band here. Gentlemen, what a wonderful time we're having already.
Yeah.
Talking metal, action figures, and fucking all kinds of craft beer.
Yeah.
Life is good. I'm so excited to have you guys here.
We're excited to be here.
Excited to have you here because, first of all, I'm a fan of the concepts of torture, and we're going to talk about that record tonight. But really, just about, as I've sat here tonight and drank with you and spoke to you about music and Texas, it's like, you guys are like one of those bands that I admire just because you're so driven and you aspire to not only share your craft, but make an impact with people out in the music scene.
Yeah, of course.
As I mentioned earlier, there's fans from all over the world who watch our program. So for those people, let's not take for granted that they know about Snakefather. So John, I know you're at the heart of this band. Share a little bit about the beginnings of Snakefather, because I heard that in the beginning it was just kind of you were the band, and then you said like we need to develop.
Yeah. So I want to say early 2017. I moved from my hometown in Corpus. I was like, you know what? I'm really driven with this music. I can never find solid people. So
In Corpus. Yeah.
Say what you will. That's my hometown. It is what it is. I moved, found different opportunities, and I said, you know what? I'm going to make this shit happen on my own. I want people to know what I'm about, what this music I care so deeply about means to me. So I created a one-off song, 7-minute song. It's called A Pledge in Utah, and it's on our first EP. It's the Ouroboros EP. And that song inspired a whole EP, because I was like, man, this song has potential. This music, whatever I just put out, has potential. Let's expound upon it. So I created a whole EP, and then 2018 was our proper release for a band that we deemed to be operational on stage, or be performance wise. So I found people to partake in our band, and we went stage side with it. So. Yeah.
Was there a self-titled EP before Ouroboros?
Yeah, so the self-titled, it's kind of.
I know it's kind of your baby steps. I get it.
It's baby steps. I didn't know what I was doing, and this is a big mistake for anybody who wants to get out in music. But hey, you got to learn from your mistakes.
And share it, because there's a lot of musicians who watch our show.
Be scared to talk about it.
No, I actually need to take it off, but I think it's vital to show people that we are a real. It's history.
Yeah.
It's a demo EP if you think about it, but it's because I didn't master it. I just dropped it, and I was I don't have the money to master it. I'm just gonna drop this shit, and it's sick. And you know what? Honestly, some people really recognized it for what it was, and they liked it still, and it was not mastered. But I will tell you, my producer was not happy. He was not happy one bit. He said, hey, man, please don't put that music out, especially if you haven't paid me to master it. So tonal recording, I love you, and I'm still working with you. So I took his words of advice, and we made sure that we did it proper justice, and we released Ouroboros EP with one additional song on there. And it was all mastered.
So the self-titled became Ouroboros.
And the one song that was added was our introduction song called Nightshade.
Nice.
Yeah.
When you first started getting into music and you said I want to be a musician and put music out, were you primarily listening to deathcore music? Is that what you were a fan of?
Yes and no. I honestly, so I started out with music at a very early age. My dad was into metal and what I deemed to be at the time. No, I'm not going to say death rock, but he was into a lot of classic. No, so even
I love Avenged Sevenfold.
So even before then, I was into punk rock, Casualties, No Effects,
Wow.
Pennywise was my favorite.
Yeah.
Because It's so weird because it actually came full circle. I care about music that has meaning to it. So you have your Molotov Solutions of now, they're not a band anymore, but Molotov Solution is still very well making its waves in our genre of deathcore. But I like music that had a purpose, and Molotov Solution was a government deathcore band. But if you ask me about my preliminary music that I started out with, was punk rock, and it was against the government and things that had a stance. Where I diverged from just staying into this corner was finding the West Coast band Avenged Sevenfold.
Yeah.
And they blended punk rock with breakdowns, and at that time, all my punk rock friends thought I was like a poser. They were like, "Bro, you're a joke. Like you like Avenged Sevenfold? That's fucking weird, dude."
Oh yeah.
But then
those are the purists, bro.
Yeah,
like,
those are
fuck
purists.
the purists.
Yeah. And then I realized, like, dude, no, these guys blended punk rock and breakdowns, which I've never heard before in my life. And then they just became the insanely talented musicians that they are now.
And one of the biggest bands in the world.
One of the biggest bands in the world. So all right, you purist motherfuckers.
Exactly.
Like,
what the fuck do you know?
Doing now?
Oh man, I could tell you an Avenged Sevenfold story.
Sellouts.
I could tell you an Avenged Sevenfold story
absolutely.
when they were like underground, and they still wore the makeup and everything.
Yo, that was so sick.
That was back in the day. I remember I saw them at Sunken Gardens, and nobody ever thought they were going to be what they became.
Oh yeah, they're huge.
And beautiful. People say, when I research Snake Father, there's always that deathcore label. Is that what you tell people, or?
To end the conversation quickly, yeah, we're deathcore, but I don't acknowledge us as purely just deathcore. I think we have our own niche. What I like to say, and what I have said even before, people would just put us in a box and call us deathcore, is that we're aggressive metal, progressive, or just mostly just aggressive metal, really, because you have to see us live, you have to hear the music, and just be a part of the music to understand that we claim ourselves to be as aggressive metal. Like, we're not this or we're not that. We could be anything. We could be, and I'm not trying to be pretentious about it. It's just like, we like to make you feel something. So we're not just trying to play deathcore for the sake of playing deathcore. But if you have to label us, then go ahead. You can put us call us deathcore. You know what I mean? I don't want to just stay that genre like that. I love all types of music.
Sure. When I heard the concepts of torture, and I'm fairly new to the band, I'll be frank. I think I first heard about the band. Well, not first heard about it, but first started jamming the band in the early summer of this year, and I was jamming the concepts of torture. And, I thought, well, yeah, this is deathcore, but there's so much layering to it that the sonic landscape of it is so in depth that it keeps me intrigued, and I love it.
Yes.
Last night we were at the Come and Take It for the Revocation show, and there was this band doing deathcore, and Kevy, my friend, looked at me and says, "What do you think?" I said, It's okay, but they're not giving me anything special with what they're delivering, so it didn't really intrigue me at all. When I listen to Concepts of Torture, it is the same genre as what I was hearing last night, but it's so much more in depth, like I said, and that's really what I love about it. Go ahead and share it, Mondo.
Yeah, so one of the main things that I do love about Snake Father is the dynamic.
Yeah.
It has the most. That's what really brings out the light of what Snake Father really is just that a lot of the things, it can be very intricate in certain aspects of it, but the core of it, and it can be called deathcore, but there's so many little details and things that really brighten out like what Snake Father can be and what could be, and who it could connect with, and it's just so much more than what I expected. Because with deathcore, I love, but it's so easy to fall into like the flow of everything else. But I feel like really with Snake Father, it really just challenges a lot of details with that kind of scene. So that's kind of like one of the main things that I really do admire from Snake Father.
After Ouroboros, you guys released Pathways of Corruption. Was that the next EP?
Yeah. So we were releasing singles.
Yep,
for a
a
while.
couple singles. Wasn't one of them a cover? No.
No. Which one are we talking about?
I don't know. I thought I saw a single that was a cover. No.
So I love, like, kind of going back to your question, like, I love horror movies, but I was like, bro, we need to make music videos that further explain this story of Snakefather. So Pathways of Corruption was after Ouroboros, but even before Pathways of Corruption became the full body of work that it was, I had dropped in, I want to say 2018 or 2019, I can't remember, I just can't remember right now, but Davidian was, oh no, I'm sorry, yeah, Davidian, that was for the Pathways of Corruption album, but that was one of the first singles off that album, and people, the response that we got on that was just incredible, because I wanted to make sure it felt like a real living, breathing body of work, but also made you feel like you were a part of this introduction to this cult. And the thing is, reality is what you make of it, and I made it feel like it was something else while it was being something else, while it could be this or this to somebody in this realm. And we put Pathways of Corruption together, and shortly after that I put another song called Shapeshift, which is one of our biggest songs right now.
Wow.
Even still off that album, it's still getting all its hits and plays and stuff like that.
Nice.
And that song, we made a music video that loosely connects to, it's a continuation of Davidian.
You used the word cult right now. I thought it was kind of interesting because I remember when I heard the name Snakefather,
I saw your face.
you're like, oh man, okay. Yeah, tell us a little about this name Snakefather.
Oh man, there's so many different, there's like, I want to say there's 3 good facets about it, but starting out, I moved up here, dated a crazy fucking chick.
Oh god.
Crazy girl. And if she hears, she would never hear this, I don't know. But I was vilified.
She's gonna be calling you tonight.
No, right? I haven't talked to her in years. But
oh god.
I was vilified as a snake, as a villain.
Ooh.
I was a villain, right? When in reality, and you know, I'm not trying to have this deeper conversation, so I'm just gonna cut to the chase and say,
sure.
In reality, she was the worst person I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
And I'm giving you guys the nitty gritty.
Yeah, give it to me.
Worst fucking person I've ever met in my life. But she had the audacity to call me a fucking villain.
Yeah, of course.
I took this person in, right?
That's
so
what it is.
I was looking for a project name, and I was making these songs in my apartment. This is what I lived, I breathed, I eat, I slept. I would sleep in my mattress on the floor.
So you're the Snakefather.
So you want to call me the fucking snake?
You're the
You want to call me that? Fucking, I'll be the fucking villain, dude. If you want me to play that, I'll be the fucking devil. So I love that. And here, so here's the more proper.
Give it to me, John. I'm loving it.
So that gave me a good base to start off for a band name or a project name, and then Father was something that I felt that you could revere, something that you loved, or somebody that had somewhat of an honorable kind of connotation to. So I was like, put the two together and you get this blend of evil and beauty and reverence. But here's why I love what I love. I love evil. I love corruption. I love that moment behind the closed doors when somebody offers you this pathway of corruption, if you will, but this pathway that sets your whole course in your life down a dark alley. And that moment is what I love. The moment of corruption, that one pathway.
Is it the decisive pathway to do it or not?
No, once you make that decision, once you sell your soul to the devil, that moment that you sell your soul to the devil, that's the moment I love. Because everybody's forced with that option in their life at one point or another.
Many times.
And a lot of people take it. And you know what? Those people who take it, I applaud them. Because not everybody can do it, and it's hard to be right. It's hard to be righteous.
It is. It is. It's like that movie from Blood In, Blood Out, like Life's a Risk, carnal. Right? Life's a risk, carnal.
Yeah.
Sometimes
those are my heroes. and I think it's a very human thing. It's a very human
that's
thing.
deep. That's deep.
It's very human is what we're basically trying to say.
Yeah, and so many. This is the thing, though. This is the thing that's scary about that for me, as a at my age. It's like we've all gone down the dark path, okay? And some of us can come out of it, just you have a realization or a relationship or family intercede. And then there's some people who do not. And then it leads them to total destruction. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, so that's kind of like the scary part about it. Yeah, so great. Now I know.
and well, like the last
I'm a
thing,
snake father.
There you go. No, I'm just kidding. So and Colts, like I'll make this pretty quick, but like Colts usually have one figurehead or a couple figureheads that on the outside they look like good and right people and people you can trust, but on behind closed doors or they're the other on the other side of the token they're the people that.
Did y'all ever hear of David Koresh?
Yes.
In Waco?
Yeah, that's
believe it or not, in 1993, I was in Waco.
Really?
I was a senior at Baylor. The day that place burned down, I was watching it on TV. The fire was coming out the window, right? And the way that we used to do it, all my friends and I would meet at my apartment after class, and they were like, "Let's go to lunch," and I'm like, "Hold on, dude, this place is on fucking fire." And they were like, "Fuck that, let's go to lunch." And I'm like, I was all intrigued. Anyway, I stepped out to the front of my apartment, and I could see the smoke in the sky. That's how close I lived to that place. Yeah, dude, I was there. I was crazy. There for David Koresh. Crazy. Yeah. So the word cult kind of rings a bell with me. Yeah. Let's jump into your new record, The Concepts of Torture. I love this record, and for all of you people out there who have not yet seen the cover work, go in and take a look at it. It dropped in April of this year. Be sure to look for it after you watch this interview. Great record, guys. I really, really am a fan. And I remember I first jammed this record when Julian Cruz from JC Productions sent it to me. Yeah. He just said, "Rob, you know Snakefather?" I said, "Yeah, I've heard of him." He goes, "Here are the tracks. Check them out." Shout out Julian. And thanks to Julian. You guys probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Julian Cruz. Awesome. He sent me the tracks. And I remember he sent me MP3 and WAV files. And then I cleaned it up and I put it in my iTunes and really began to jam this record. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. So after that, I really wanted to get you on the show and support these 6 songs. Let's talk about The Concepts of Torture. And obviously, since you guys have had a history of music and recording, this one definitely stands out. What makes this one different and better?
So Pathways was what I like about the metal genre. And that was I know we're getting back to your question, but that was our shot at trying to make all the musics that we love in the metal genre and aggressive and just make it in different flavors and whatever. Concepts of Torture was a little bit more focused. It was more in a one kind of area, like centered area of metal, but you can't have Snakefather without having this different shape-shifting types of genres of within metal. So we still did that, but it was way more way more conceptual, and it was more focused. So this was our attempt at making a more focused, horror-based, kind of more aggressive, dark, and oppressive style of music for us with Concepts of Torture. And I wanted to, there's more I can go into about it. But
sure. I mean, because that'll probably be my next question. Okay. Like, talk about some of the lyrical things of Concepts of Torture.
So Concepts of Torture,
because when we get to the visual part, it's so sick.
It's sick because the way I fix Snakefather to be is the average listener can listen to this shit and be like, man, this shit is fucking sick. Yeah. Somebody who wants, because when I was younger, I listened to music because I liked what they were telling me, starting from punk rock to metalcore to deathcore, or to a hardcore. Is that it mattered what they were telling me. I don't care about like, oh, this is cool. Like, I'm gonna forget about it tomorrow. Yeah. But tell me what you want to tell me and mean it. Be genuine about it. So here's what I did for anyone. They can listen to it because, cool, it's heavy music, right? Sure, I like that. But the concept of it is like, I want it to mean something to somebody who wants to look for the meaning for it. So Concepts of Torture was anyone who's going through mental pain, mental anguish, stress, or anything like that, and feels in the lowest parts of their life. And I'm here to give you an outlet, but also let you know that I'm here with you. Like, I don't have the answers, but I'm here right with you. The lore behind it, the art behind it, is that Davidian and Pathways was the introduction to the cult. But I want you to imagine a green pasture, and I want you to imagine a dark mountain in the back of it. In the dark mountain, you go up these trails, and you go into the midsection of the mountain. That's where you stay there to learn the teachings of Ezekiel from a cult. And the cult is life. The cult is the people that you surround yourself around. You go into that area of life for the longest time. After you're done being tortured, you go up to the very top of the mountain, the peak of the mountain, and you get pushed off the mountain to die. But by the cult leader, by the cult lieutenant, or whoever takes you, they're saying, this is where you find enlightenment, which enlightenment is one of our last songs. And it's the artwork. It's the concept for the artwork that's on the front of the album. It's the cult lieutenant pushing off the woman who's accepted her fate, falling off the side of the cliff to find enlightenment, to grow wings, and she never does. No one ever does. You always fall to your death, and it's over. Right. But at the very end of that song, enlightenment.
But they entice you into coming into the
entice
mountain.
You because you've been tortured for your whole life. You've been pushed through this life of stress and strife, and you go to the very end and you want to see enlightenment. So whatever your mindset is at that end, that's what it is it's going to be to carry you towards the last very second, the bitter end.
It kind of reminds me of like that dude who like wants to open the box for the Hellraiser and like,
oh hell yeah,
yeah, something like that. Like I'm gonna do it even though
Pandora's
I'm gonna
box.
get fucked. I'm gonna do it.
Pandora's box.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
In-depth.
I mean, and like the first song is called Chasm of Light. So you're stuck in that torture chamber. It starts out with the dungeon sounds. But Chasm of Light is actually, it was based off of the phone. Because in the first lyrics, it's saying that I want to live infinite lives, but none of which are of mine. I'm living so many different lives by looking at different lives, but I'm still stuck in this fucking torture chamber with a phone.
And we love it. Exactly.
Vicariously living through other people.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's basically what it is.
I want to talk about the recording of this record too because it sounds so great on my stereo. You know, I love it, and we're gonna jam it here after we finish this interview.
Awesome.
But I know that. You know, John, you're at the heart of this band, but you also have some great people surrounding you. So let's give an opportunity for Jericho and Mondo and your new guy Sam from the East Coast to share a little bit about their backgrounds and their contributions here and what they want to help with regards to Snake Father.
All right, so I put in a lot of legwork for this band,
Sure.
of course, but these guys do too, and
Of
they
course.
do in their own respects. But this guy, it's so crazy. It's so fucking crazy. Because a whole year I knew this guy. I would meet him in the parking lot of Mama Margie's to borrow his bass guitar. All right?
Oh, God.
Just to record something. All right? And a year goes by, and I'm so shit out of luck right now. I had members leave, members come and go. It just fucking happens. Now, I think people understand that that's just part of life.
Of course.
And the new genre that we're
Of course.
in. When I was younger, I was like, bro, I want to have a band of brothers that were just like...
Yeah.
Dude, that's just not it. That's just not it.
It's not
but
it.
this guy, I'm like, hey, man, do you want to play guitar for our band or for Snake Father? And he's like, yeah, I'll try it out. And he fucking did. And it was amazing. So this is my guy. He's one of the people closest to my heart right now. This is Mondo.
Mondo's a cool dude. All right, Mondo.
Thank you. Yeah. It's been very fucking interesting that I actually ended up being in this style of music and stuff like that because it's not my primary type of style.
Sure.
But even then, like what resonated with me with kind of music is just the way that he expresses so much integrity with whatever he's trying to say, and that's like there's hope in the most darkest areas possible, and that's what I actually like. This is like the best way to be able to express something, because everybody is having a dark time in a certain moment, right? So whenever we listen to music, or whenever we have like some outlet that's helping us out in any certain way, so long as it's pushing you to have like some certain hope or some certain style of like, there's something out there for me or something, like that's what really helps out. Like, and that's what I was like, okay, I need to make this work. And
you know what it
I
is?
need to help this out.
You know what it is? And this is the most simplistic way that I interpret what you're saying, is that you believed in the vision.
The vision.
You believed in the vision that John had. Yeah. You believed in the vision.
Vision for sure.
Yeah. And that's so important. I mean, I teach business, so I always talk about, CEOs and different levels of management. And in any company that you're in, you have to believe in the vision of what the company wants to achieve. And even in bands, like John's a very strong, driven dude, so he has a vision of what he wants to do and accomplish, not only in the music scene, but musically. And, if you believe in that, then you're fucking down, and you're going to sacrifice and persevere and do all the, things that you need to do, because I know that being in an underground band is not an easy thing.
And it's incredibly inspiring too, because like all of us are in different projects and shit like that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, do you mind if I cuss? I don't know if
no, of course you can.
But yeah, so like Morning Sun.
Fucking John.
Yeah, so Morning Sun, like all his projects over here, and my own projects. It's just that like with Snakefather, one of the main things that I love the most is that it brought us all together to try to make an interpretation of what you can actually look into for yourself. Like, this is what I can look into for myself, and I'm like, all right, I can have this outlet that's gonna make me so fucking gone from the darkest area that I can be. So it's like a way of cleansing and letting all that dark stuff out. Exactly. Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna murder anybody, but like,
well,
I might kick my cat.
This music is like, this is fucking cool.
Well, I'm actually a paramedic, so
I can imagine all the ugly things you see.
I see a lot of ugly.
Oh God,
I see a lot of ugly things. But this is an outlet for people. So what he was saying is that like it makes you feel like I can get my fucking evil out. I can be the villain, and then I can go back to my 9 to 5 and be a normal fucking person. Exactly. Like that's. You tell him
you're not gonna die.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Am I drunk? Okay, so now we have Sam J. Sam, you're so interesting, Sam, because I know people from the East Coast, and I've always kind of been intrigued by people from the East Coast because they're so different than people down here in South Texas, And I was joking earlier when I said, "Oh man, you're hanging out with all the crazy Mexicans down here in Texas," but tell us a little bit about your background, because I know that you're going to be an in-depth part of this band in the coming year.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
¿Cómo te gusta la ciudad?
You need
I'll tell you. Vamos fumar mota, Sam.
I'll tell you what.
Hold your mic closer to your mouth.
I'll tell you what. Coming from the Northeast, up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, it was just such a culture shock for me moving down here.
Really?
A little over a year ago.
Have you drank Big Red yet?
Different. Yeah, actually, yes.
You love Big Red. Tell me you love Big Red.
It's okay.
Yeah.
So with some of my background, just starting, just loving metal, with my father taking me to an Iron Maiden show.
Wow.
Back in 2010. So that really sparked my interest for music, and I just started picking up a guitar and playing every single day. Yeah, I've been playing for about 12 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
What kind of guitar do you play?
I'm
trying to picture in my mind what kind of guitar you hold.
So it was so funny how that ended up, because I ended up picking up a Squier Strat over a Gibson that was signed.
Wow.
Yeah, so very stupid of me being young age. I didn't know any better. So I was like, man, I want that guitar, because that's what Janet Gertz from Iron Maiden uses. Like, he uses the vanilla.
Janet Gertz. Yes.
Yeah. The Vanilla Squire. You know, it was
The
like
Vanilla Squire.
Yeah, he's
Is
the
that
actual Fender model, but I can only afford the
yeah.
Squire. But
Yeah.
I started playing guitar every day, and my guitar teacher taught me the Trooper, and I was such an amateur at that time. But I ended up learning like the one riff from it, and I ended up just playing it all the time, and I played it actually at a talent show. Yeah, the Trooper from Iron Maiden, and I totally bombed it, but you know.
Hey.
But you know, I started getting. Yeah, I mean, at a young age, I rocked out. Everybody
Look it up on YouTube,
me,
people.
You know? Yeah, so I ended up making a band called No Loose Ends. It was so funny. It was just like it was a rock band and also a cover band. But I played with them for a few years, and I ended up joining a band called Speaking in Tongues. Shout out to them.
All out of Philly, right?
So they're all out of like Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Speaking in Tongues is actually still playing. Shout out to them. A lot of my buddies are still playing with them.
Cool.
And yeah, they're rocking out. They still got they're still pumping out new material and whatnot. And then I ended up joining a band called Nullity. Now they're like a metalcore band. I played with them, 2018, 2019, and that really sparked my interest to start playing like a 7-string guitar. So I started dabbling into like more heavier styles of metal, and also like
Oh yeah.
heavier styles of metal like metalcore, deathcore. I started deep diving into like death metal and whatnot, especially when I got into college and I started like learning about all this different backgrounds of music. And I was like, well, I love metal, so I started doing a deep dive into like 80s hair metal and death metal.
Yeah.
Napalm Death was a big one for me.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Yeah. So how did you get connected with John?
So it was crazy because I ended up being friends with him on Facebook, and he made a post, and he was like, "Hey, I'm looking for a guitar player," and I was like, "I should try this."
And you kind of felt like, you felt like my chops are good enough. I can be in this band.
Yeah. I've been a 7-string player for a little while now.
Wow.
And I did my degree through Full Sail for audio production.
Oh, okay.
But I just had.
I think I read that about you, that you're not just a guitar player, but you're a multifaceted musician.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have backgrounds in drums, vocals, guitar, piano.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's great.
Especially audio production too.
Yeah.
That's what I love to do.
And do you write? Do you like to write music too?
Yeah. So it's so funny because Snakefather's style of music is not my primary style of music that I write.
Sure. Yes. And I think that's say, Mondo, what do you got to say, Mondo?
So, I basically want to say that he showed me in a sauna one of his songs.
Y'all were naked in a sauna?
No, we weren't naked, but
yeah. We just had our chones on.
So I had
I'm just joking.
I had a towel on.
Yeah.
We both did.
Y'all were like talking guitar or what?
Yeah, so we were on the run. So
Yeah.
So when he showed me one of his songs, the towel kind of raised up. No, I was gonna. No. But
you're like, Sam, I love you.
He heard glorious music.
Yeah. Nah, dude, the music that he does, so fucking amazing, dude. Like, Spirit Box influenced, dude. Very intricate in the style that he's trying to do. So.
Yeah.
I really want to appreciate.
And you mentioned Spirit Box. It's like weird because like now I'm kind of getting a feel for what you're talking about. And a lot of that stuff is like very, very complex. It's like it can be complex to me.
Yeah. So
very funky.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like
and multi-dimensional. And it's like for some people, I think for some people it can be too much for them. Like they don't understand it. Sure. Yeah. And unless
absolutely.
you're like a real music fan and you listen to it 3 or 4 times, then you. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And really, like, what kind of sparked that off was when I went to Mayhem Fest in 2014, and I started seeing a whole bunch of different deathcore bands and metalcore bands, and it like really opened up my eye to the industry to really see like what was out there and what really made me interested into this style of music. Right. I ended up just doing it. Dove right into it. and that's what I focused most of my energy on, which is also why I wanted to like take it another step further and learn audio production, so I could actually record the stuff that I write,
right,
and be able to play it,
do it, and record it well. Yeah,
exactly,
great, man. That's cool.
And like I would have to say, like, one of the most inspiring factors for me in the style that I'm writing currently, though, is Mick Gordon, for sure.
Who?
Mick Gordon. He's the guy. Yeah.
For the Doom.
He did,
Oh,
he did the
yeah.
soundtrack.
He did it on
There was a dude here, and it was Aiden from. You might not know this band.
Danella Drive.
Danella Drive, and
I love that band.
Aiden talked about that dude a lot during the interview. Like, oh, it's like, yeah, Rob, the dude who does Doom. And I remember a few days later, he emailed me some tracks.
It's a 9-string guitar.
Oh God.
Aiden 9-string
Wow.
guitars.
You know that stuff, Kevin? Oh God, I don't know that shit.
Mick Gordon's worked with Burning the Horizon.
Wow.
Like Mick Gordon's got his fingers in everyone's pockets right now, as far as reported.
Mick Gordon actually went to Austin because I have a gaming studio. He went to Metal Vocalist and tried to get them to create a Doom Metal Vocalist choir.
That was for the second game.
For Doom 2. And I applied to it. I emailed to it. I got the first application, but didn't make the cut. But he had vocalists from Aborted. He had vocalists from all.
Wow.
He had some vocalists from Houston, but it was incredible.
Wow. No, keep the mic, Jericho, because
Oh, I'm here now.
it's your turn now. So, Jericho, I know you. You've been here before when you came for the
years.
for the Rob's Metalworks barbecue, and then, I know that I videotaped Morning Sun when y'all did the Battle of the Bands for the Wacken Fest, and I saw you perform, and I think that was the first time I saw you sing. You're the lead singer for Morning Sun. And then when I found out that you were doing bass for Snakefather, I said, is that him? I'm like, is that baby face boy that I know?
Wait, listen, I got a little peach fuzz. Hold up.
Yeah, he's getting that peach fuzz
give me a
there.
little credit now.
But,
Baby.
undoubtedly, you have, I've also come to admire and respect you because I know that you too are very, you love performing, you love heavy music. You love being involved in the scene, and that means a lot, bro. That
I
goes
really
a long
appreciate that.
way. That goes a long way. And if you're playing with John and John has you in his band, then that means that he believes in you too, and that also says something to me. So how did you get involved with Snakefather? How did that happen?
So I'll say this right at the get go. Fuck y'all. No. I'll say this right at the get go. Yeah, Morning Sun has been nothing but such a big passion thing to me. I love Morning Sun. But honestly, coming out from playing bass to doing vocals for them, I felt very out of place because I was very used to playing bands for a lot of my, or playing bass for bands for a lot of my life.
Yeah.
And I saw that.
So bass was your first thing?
What really got me into playing music was playing guitar. What got me into the local scene here was I was auditioning to play guitar for Dreamlight, and there's just a lot of bullshit that happened, and they promised me a position that wasn't really that position, and then they tried to offer me bass, and I was like, well, fuck you, because I bought $900 worth of gear for live set for guitar stuff, and I was just left in this really rough place, and then my old roommate, Jason, offered me a bass position with a try setback, and I was like, you know what, fuck it. I sold all my guitar stuff to go and play bass, and I played for bass for them for a few years. And then I ended up finding Morning Sun. But after playing Morning Sun for so long, and then now I'm in the vocal position with them, I was like, I really miss playing bass because there was just this energy and there was this freedom I felt playing an instrument and not having to adhere to just being, like I am right now, holding this mic and just being tied down to whatever I do with my body. So I saw our old drummer Alex post a listing for oh hey, Snakefather needs a bassist, and I messaged him, which I ended up messaging John on, and I was like, you know what, let me just.
John, did you know about him before that? No.
I can answer that question. No, he did not. I already know he didn't.
I didn't know about him, and I was glad he fell in. I didn't know about him at all, and I'm so happy that he hit me up because I didn't think that he was all that interested at first, to be honest.
I I mean, so I auditioned for Snakefather. You know, I put my name in the hat. I really didn't think I was gonna get picked because, not that I doubt my own bass skill, but I always know there's somebody better than me. There's always somebody better than anyone.
Of course.
So whenever.
But the thing is it's not just about that. It's also about, you know, just watching you guys tonight. I can see that there's a great kind of connection and brotherhood, and that is so vital in being a part of a band. You know, because you can have the greatest guitar player, bass player, and if they're not connecting with you as a person, then fuck them.
Exactly,
you know, you're not going to want them around. Yeah.
So, hold on, let me cut you off. I've had guitarists that are fucking incredible, but fucking ego heads, pieces of shit.
Yeah. I hear you.
And what are they doing now?
Exactly. Jericho, thanks for that breakdown, Jericho. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so first, check out Morning Sun. Jericho's a fucking G. So,
yeah.
I'm not trying to demean your...
Baby G.
Yeah.
He's a baby G.
If you were going to say it, I was going to say it. Check out Morning Sun. It's fucking incredible.
Yeah. Well, trust me, I've been supporting
sure.
Morning Sun for a long time. Yeah. Long time. Okay, so I want to go back to the concepts of torture, and like I mentioned earlier, the record sounds really good on the stereo. Where did you guys record these tracks?
All right. So, I was watching our old video. I had our old drummer from the Marker Effect, my old band in Corpus.
Yeah.
He was sitting in this spot right here where Mondo's sitting.
Yeah.
And we were about to do what I'm doing now. But he said, you asked us, where did you record that? Are you going to record with Precision Studios again?
Yeah.
And he chimed in real quick and he said, no, we're going to go with Tonal. However, that band dissolved right before we got to go to Tonal, which I felt would have been a sick-ass decision if we did that at that time. And that was how many years ago? 10? We are with Tonal now, Tonal Recordings.
Out of where? Where are they from?
Based out of Dallas, but he does take his RV and he goes to Rockport. And that's where he said he was going to go, where
And you record in the RV?
Well, the first recordings for Snakefather was recorded in the RV in Rockport.
Wow.
But now I go to his headquarters in Dallas.
Yeah.
I go there to write skeletons of some of our songs. Mondo had played a big role in our track for Concepts of Torture called Chasm of Light. It's the introductory song. But he brought a aggressive, hardcore San Antonio metal, Texas kind of riff to it. And at first I was like, this is really different. I have a lot of trust in myself. I don't trust anyone. And that's rules in life. I don't trust anyone, even my brothers. I don't trust anyone to a T, right? Because there's one moment that things can be wrong for you or for them. But I trusted Mondo to come through and write some music because I was like, this guy, I've seen him. He's spent a tenure in our band. He's spent time. He's put blood, sweat, and tears in our band already. Let me trust him.
For sure.
And that's me, man. Like it's like a mafia that we have, a cult, if you will. And Mondo came in, wrote the Chasm of Light, and it took off. Like, I really enjoy that song. My lyrics over his riffing on that song, it just gives you this driving force where it's anxiety, it's coming at you, and it's tortured. And that's Chasm of Light. But yeah, Mondo put that together.
Did it take a long time to record the record?
All the songs that people heard in April, they were all mostly over the course of a year. So the songs are a year old to us before they before they even really hit the public. So it took a year. It took about a year.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
Sounds great on the stereo, man.
Great,
I just have to compliment you. It sounds fucking fat. And there's so much. I remember, like, I don't know if I want to call it like electronica or whatever, or just like those weird sounds in between.
So horror. This is my motto going into Concepts of Torture. It was make things sound like something,
like,
but be another thing. But yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's it, right? Yeah.
So, like all the stuff that you hear, it can loosely be something else while it's another thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's great about horror is that like you need to keep listening to it to really figure out what it is. But even at then, the mystery of horror, what makes horror so great is mystery. You'll never truly know what it is. And
it's up to the person of how you interpret it.
Sure.
That's the fucking biggest thing that I love about it. Like, whatever you have in your head, like, that's what you're going to interpret. Like, and everybody's different. So that's the main thing that I love about it.
Yeah.
Something that really drove me towards Snakefather, especially with the horror aspect, was like I used to work at a haunted attraction called Haunted Hills Estate. And I mean, I used to run sound for it, so I would have to constantly like develop like horror themed backgrounds in the environment, the audio environment for each one of the rooms in the space. So that's what really gravitated me towards Snakefather when I joined them recently.
Yeah. Wow.
So I don't want to drag too much off topic, but I don't think I got to finish my thought. What I was saying, I really appreciate y'all promoting Morning Sun for me, but I was not about to get into that because you were asking me. You were asking me about how I got involved with stuff. I auditioned them on a whim, and I'm very lucky to be a part of them now. But obviously, with me missing playing, an instrument and playing bass and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, joining Snakefather, I have never felt anything that was so flowy, nothing that made me move as much as this band makes me move.
Oh, God.
There's something about how everything is orchestrated within this music that has been created.
Even when we were just like jamming your new track, Greater Evil, I could see you guys were already jamming air guitaring it. Yeah, like you love it. Like you're feeling it. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
This is definitely something that I find within any bands that I listen to on a regular, where it forcibly makes you move. It's not a thought you have to make. It's not something that you actively think about. It's just a movement. It makes you do it without thinking about it. And this is what Snakefather has done for me. This is a lot of what has dragged me into this project. I can thank no one but everyone who was involved in this project before I even became a part of it for this being what it is. Yeah, I'm verbally jerking this band off right now, but no, in all honesty, in all earnest, I am very happy to be a part of this project, and I've never been happier to be a part of a group of dudes like
That's
this.
great, man. I mean, it's
such a brotherhood.
You have to believe, like I said, believe in the vision, and if you believe in the vision, and then like as John and I shared, you have to have a good chemistry with the dudes that you're with, and build that kind of brotherhood, and pursue the vision. And if you have all of that, then it's a beautiful thing, man. You're happy. It's like when you first get married. And then it all goes to shit.
Come on. Hey, we're not going to shit, right? We're not.
No, you're not. You're not. Not there yet. Not there yet.
We're in the ring, but I'm the closest one to it.
Okay, gentlemen. Let's talk about what's going to be happening here in the fall. I heard you guys have a very cool tour coming up in October. Tell us a little bit about that.
These are very dicey questions, okay? No. Life hits hard. This band does not take any fucking... doesn't take no for an answer. This band is going to progress with family on its own or with family. It doesn't matter. Snakefather is going to go on its West Coast tour. It's going to go to Portland. It's going to go to California. It's going to go to Arizona, New Mexico. We're going to go on the West Coast. I have Sam right here. He's our newest member. He's going to be rolling with us.
Yeah.
He has connections, and he's made connections.
So when fans, just so that I'm clear, so when fans see you on this next run, you're going to have two guitar players?
We're going to have two guitar players.
Yeah,
One of
cool.
them is not in this room right now. One of them is from Common Thieves. Common Thieves. His name is Alex Woods, and he's going to be our second guitarist. He's a close friend with Sam over here, so we're going to have two guitarists, make sure that it's a full sound. We're also going to have a bass player. His name is Vinny, and his last name is Lacio. Mm-hmm. Yep. So we're going to have the full production, the full band experience. And what you're there to see is the music. What you're there to hear is the music. It's Snakefather. you're gonna have me there, and you're gonna have Sam as well. And Sam's in Austin. It lives in Austin. We're all based out in this Texas area.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna go on tour. We have some connections in California. We're really excited to play with a couple Californian bands that we've been talking over the internet. We've been in close connections. There's a band called Scoundrel that's out there. They're going to be playing out there, and we're going to meet up with some of the members of the band Reminiscence. They're pretty big in the scene and close relations with the Bay Area scene, so over there in California. So we're excited. And when we play our California show, we're going to book it all the way back to Houston to play one of our biggest shows yet. It's going to be with Oceano, which is a huge...
Yeah, I know Oceano.
That's one of my favorite bands.
Wow,
I have 3 favorite bands that are at the very helm of my favorite bands.
Oceano's been around for a while.
You have Acacia Strain, you have Oceano, and then you have Spite. Those are my 3 favorite bands. And I'm excited because, then I'm going to actually have my guys reunite. We're all going to be back on stage in Houston for the Oceano show.
So after October, what are you guys going to have any more plans, or are you going to wait till 2023?
So we're creating a new album right now.
My God. I was going to ask that question is forthcoming.
Okay. So,
but yeah,
we don't stop. We don't stop really. We put in a lot of work. We want this band to succeed. We want people to enjoy our music on a widespread basis. So Snakefather is in the process of writing a newer album. I'm not going to say the full name right now, but we're working on a full LP. So it'll be our second LP.
So you won't tour after October and focus on the new record?
We actually have a tour. I need to make sure that we get the logistics down.
Yeah.
But it's in February.
Yeah.
And it's with Florida heavyweights called Bottom Feeders.
Yeah.
They're pretty fucking heavy, and I'm really excited. If this tour goes through, this will take us on the southeast, area of spectrum of the U.S. So we're stoked to hopefully make that week run with the band Bottom Feeders in Florida. That'll be February 2023. That's the big plans we have there too.
I think that's one of the things that I've kind of also really admired about Snakefather is that, you guys are a band that are like, we're going to go out there. We're going to fucking slug it out, and we're going to be in a van, and we're going to travel across this country, and we're going to play our music in front of fans, and we're going to work hard, and we're going to make this happen. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of bands, in our area who don't do that. They just don't want to do it because, whatever, family, jobs, whatever, and then like, we don't do it. But, guys, I know I've been doing this long enough, and I know the sacrifice that it takes on many levels, to do that. Yeah. And I admire you for that because when you do that, it's like, man, these dudes, again, we believe in the vision and we believe in the music of what we believe in what the fuck we're doing. Yeah. And you guys are fucking at the pinnacle of that.
Yep. I mean, I won't go into too much detail, but I had a full-time job with benefits, with a career ahead of me in the medical field. Sorry, thanks. But I decided that Snakefather was something that, it's do or die. I'm actually going to kind of name drop, actually.
Do it.
About 3 months ago, I was at So What Fest in Dallas.
Yep.
I'm walking. Dude, this is... All right, nobody can trip as much as I will trip right now. I'm walking steadfast, looking at just the fucking front of me. It's fucking 120 degrees outside. I mean, it's 119, whatever. I'm walking straight, and a figure... And if he sees this, that'd be funny. A figure comes out of nowhere on my peripheral. It's my favorite fucking band, the singer of Spite, Darius Terrani.
Oh, wow.
Fucking just bum rushes me and hugs me. And I'm like
you didn't know he knew you.
No. Well, okay, then we go way back. So 2017, I walked into Dirty Dog in Austin, I saw the band I Am, which is shout out I Am.
Yep.
Fucking Texas
I know about
heavyweights.
Them.
Yes.
Yep.
And they're fucking destroying the scene right now. And Spite, I was like, let me check these guys out because my bassist at the time introduced me into that band. And I wasn't too decided on that band. I walk into Dirty Dog Bar. I see Darius sitting at the bar, and he's like eyeballing me, and I'm like looking at him, and I'm like, "Yo, are you the singer of Spite?" And he's like, "Yeah, what's up, man?" I was like, "Can I buy you a shot?" And ever since then, we've kept in contact. You know, he's doing huge fucking things.
Wow.
They're on a tour, the Carnifex tour right now with Oceano, Left to Suffer, Crown Magnetar, and themselves, Spite. And you know, it's just crazy because that's one of my biggest, you know, inspirations. Because I was drunk walking on 6th Street, and I Snapchatted Darius. I'm giving you all the fucking tea.
Tell us.
And he snapped me back and he said, "Bro, I've been doing this since I was 13. I was like, "Me fucking too." And he's like, "Dude, just keep up with it." And I was like, "Okay, I'll fucking do that." Like, I know I'm drunk, and I'm like fucking just like, bro. Yeah, I was like, "Sir, yes, sir." And I'm fucking drunk, and I'm snapping him, and he was telling me, "Just keep going. Just keep doing it. Like, don't give up."
Yeah.
And I sit on a bench, and I'm just like looking. And I mean, I'm just tripping right now, right? And then I'm just like, okay. So that was a moment to keep me pushing, right?
Yeah.
Well, just when you think that you want to quit, just when things just get so fucking difficult, or you just been, how long do I need to keep doing this? A fucking another sign from the person that's very inspirational to me fucking rushes me and hugs me. But once we were done meeting up, that was it for the night, right? That was it. I was like, "Yo, this fucking sick. Can I get a picture?" Yeah, hell yeah, we got a picture. That was it. The world slowed down. Slow motion just happened. No sound was in my mind. And I looked straight ahead, and I was like, it's do or die. It's now or never. And I quit my full-time job that I was comfortable in, and I said, let's fucking tour. I got my guys that love me. We're going to fucking go. We did a 5-day run. It was preliminary to understand how it is to tour. Some of my guys can't make it. Some of my guys can. They're going to come back when they can. We're going to still fucking keep going. That's just the business of this job. But we got to get this music out to people. And people fuck with us. We have a widespread fan base from here in Texas to Germany. Let's fucking do it.
Yeah.
And it was that singular moment. If I wasn't going to tell him, I was going to tell you.
Life's a risk, now.
Yeah.
Shout out to my job pulling strings for that run.
Yeah.
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 Because damn.
Yeah. Like, you can come back. You can come back. Why? Because Jerko lost his job.
But I don't want to name drop too much. But that was just a big moment for me. That was like, I was like, what? You fucking just ran. He's like this. What's up, man?
What's
I was like,
up?
I'm like, I lost my shit. Right
Yeah, that's cool, man.
I was like, what the fuck?
It's always cool to be recognized by people that you admire because, you know, it just makes you feel like what I'm doing, I'm doing something right. I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
You guys released some killer videos in support of the concepts of torture. I love the videos, man. And to me, it's like they're all like a beautiful blend of the performance and then kind of like the storyline. Mm-hmm. And they look like these videos cost a lot of money. To me, it looked like it cost a lot of money. Not that they did, but I'm just saying they look totally totally awesome. Yeah. And I know we talked about videos earlier and asked you if they were important, but you guys have done 3 in support of this record. Any more, you think? Or are you kind of done already? Are you already kind of thinking ahead of the concepts of torture?
Yeah, we're already ahead of the concept of torture. Yeah. However, it would have been nice to do one for the last final song of the album. Yeah. Because that song is such a dramatic, artistic viewpoint of that album. You okay?
Jerko, don't fucking pass out in an interview. That'll be the first time ever that someone passes out during an interview.
I'm being comfy. I'm just like...
Okay.
That's just where I'm comfy.
So, yeah.
I'm like...
You're alive. Is that blue fucking hard Mike's lemonade fucking you up or what?
Nah, it's I'm drinking.
It's tasty. It's raspberry.
Dude, that one's super good. It's super sour. It's super good. So to answer your question, we are moving past concepts of torture. We're trying to work on this new stuff. We have a Greater Evil music video actually coming out in October. With that being said, the music videos that we did for Concepts of Torture, it started out with the song Oubliette because that was basically
That was the first one.
That was the center point of it.
Mhm.
Then we come out with Missing Persons,
Yep.
which was a huge fucking factor with us because that's the name of our upcoming tour, Missing Persons tour.
Okay.
But that song really is based upon anyone trying to search for themselves, and sometimes people spend their whole life searching for themselves and may never find themselves.
Very
but
true.
it's about being in an endless corridor of faces of people like that you're constantly going through, and it's all the same person. It's you. It's who you want to be, and you go through different phases in life. So, I mean, there's a lot of deep shit in our band, and you can make it as deep as you want, or you can just listen to it if you want to. But Missing Persons is a very vital song to the concept of torture.
Layers.
Here you go.
Layers.
My bad. Just did want to give a shout out to the Sleepless filmmaker and Fernando Villegas.
Oh, yeah.
Dot photos.
San
Those two
Antonio
guys.
native.
Those are the dudes who did the video?
Those are the two guys that did separate videos, but yeah, exactly, the visuals. And
Oh yeah, I got a shout out for. So Fernando Villegas of San Antonio, fucking incredible visual artist. He's our photographer. I would say he's our resident photographer. I trust him with every visual that we do. He's actually putting together our next music video.
from Eagle Pass, dude.
But his hometown is from Eagle Pass.
But he's in here in San Antonio now?
But he lives in San Antonio. Fernando, if you're watching,
Oh, he's going to be watching.
he's gonna be watching, and he's an incredible visual
Sweet,
artist.
sweet.
But yeah, our music video, basically our productions. It started out with J-Ball, which is for the Oubliette. That's gonna be Joshua. He killed it with Oubliette, and then we had.
They're all good, bro. All three of the videos are
Jonathan
good.
Cruz of Harlingen killed it for our Missing Persons and Heretics Fork, which Heretics Fork is a video concept a script that I wrote 2 years ago.
With the old man who's freaking out.
With the old man
I love it.
who's freaking out and seeing something that not everybody sees.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Everybody that was in that production, everybody took their time to actually take care of what they were supposed to do.
Yeah, yeah.
It just worked out so well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, gentlemen, let's go ahead and, we've been talking a long time. Great interview. Thank you for sharing so much. I want to end out by giving everyone an opportunity to share love, thank yous, personal love, and thank yous to the people who have helped them to get to this point in their careers. So let's start off with Jericho.
I thought we were going to go the other way, but I will take it. I want to personally thank out, obviously, with my other current project, Morning Sun, because they drive me to no ends to be able to constantly push through music as it is right now in our local scene and then beyond, which gives me all the drive and the push I need to come back into Snakefather and put everything that we do into this, as well as anybody who comes out and supports us at shows.
For sure.
We are nothing without our fans.
For sure.
Absolutely. No matter where they are, no matter how they support, if they are just listening to us in streams, if they are buying physically or anything like that, it is a massive shout out to them. They are absolutely what makes us.
I just wanted to personally thank my mom and my dad for pushing me to become a better musician every day. And I also want to thank some of my close friends back home for giving me the drive to keep pushing towards the music industry. And I found myself with these guys here, and I love them.
By the grace of the universal power, bro.
Right.
I mean, for me, it's kind of astounding. I didn't want to say this earlier, but Sam, for you to say I'm moving halfway across the country, and in pursuit of my musical dream, or because I want to do music, and then, like I said, by the grace of the universal power, you meet up with someone like John, and now you're in a band, and now you're touring. It's kind of surreal.
It really is.
It really is. So
really is.
you, my friend, you are a blessed person for that to happen to you.
Thank you.
So many people just fumble through the music scene, endlessly rotating their wheels, not going anywhere. And so for you to meet with someone like this dude, who's a mover and a shaker, and to be able to now be saying like, okay, well, I have the opportunity to record now, and I'm gonna tour now, and I'm gonna be able to network now, and gain this valuable experience now. I mean, that's a blessing, bro.
It's absolutely a blessing.
It's a blessing.
I love everybody who's encouraged me to keep pushing forward with this.
And you mentioned your parents, and that's
Yes.
really cool, dude, that you mentioned your mom and dad, because not a lot of people, especially down here, grew up with two parents.
Absolutely.
And are your parents still married?
Unfortunately, not anymore.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
But they still both support you.
They still both support me.
Yeah.
I love them dearly for that.
Yeah, for
I wouldn't be the person I am today without them.
That's a beautiful thing, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Isabel Hernandez. I've been with her since I was 14. I'm 28 now. She's been supportive every step of the way. My parents, Alejandro and Marisela Vargas, the two top tier people that actually guided me in every single way. And then Snakefather. Snakefather themselves.
The brothers love you.
Yeah.
I think John showed a lot of love for you tonight, man. In his own way.
For sure. And
in his own way.
Given that we all have our own projects, I really, truly got inspired and got in a certain aspect of how to be able to get to the point of where I should be through Snakefather. Snakefather filtered away or gave a pathway of corruption. It gave a pathway of how I can be able to manage what I should be doing with my projects or my passions and things like that. So.
And your life.
And my life, exactly.
Your life, bro.
Yep, exactly.
That's the most difficult thing about life, is that you don't know when to continue to persevere in a relationship or when to give up. And let me tell you something. I'm an old man. I know this. Life is moments in time. I use the word moments because they will end.
Yep.
Relationships will end. Jobs will end. Money will end. Everything comes to an end. The important thing is that you want to maximize the benefit of that moment in time. And I think that this moment in time for Snakefather has really come to fruition. This is the time to do it. And this is the time that it can fucking happen. Whether you guys cohesively decide to do that, that's up to you. Because I have seen so many great bands. Trust me, guys. So many great bands in my history fizzle for fucking ridiculous reasons. And, at this stage in life and in the world that we live in, I think that scenario becomes even more prevalent.
Yeah.
But the smart people, the driven people, the people who believe in the vision. And John, as the leader, your responsibility is not just to write, and your job is to help keep this band together, to help build that cohesive. You're the leader. That's your responsibility. And if it doesn't stay together, then it's your fault.
Bitch.
Yeah, bitch.
So
I don't mean to preach, guys, but you know what? No. I love you guys so much. I love you guys so much, and I want to see you guys succeed so much because you guys are from our fucking Texas metal scene. I want to see you guys be big, But there's so many subtleties that sometimes musicians don't think about because they're so focused, like you, John, you talked about, like ego, and we're just focused on what. And if you got a group of guys and you forget about that and you believe in the vision, then you guys are going to succeed. Look at the guys. Okay, we've been talking about them all night. Look at the guys from Nothing More.
That's exactly what I was going to fucking say, dude. All right.
Fuck, let's stop there.
Yep. Mark Vallalonga.
I love you, Mark, too.
The G. The guy that really brought into the inspiration on where I'm at right now. Yeah. Even with the beer.
Oh,
even with
the
fucking, the good
I
brews,
want one of
man.
those, Mark. Send me some.
So, yeah, this is true inspiration. So
Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks, man.
What a pleasure. What a good time.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, you already talked.
What do you?
Can I thank somebody?
Sure.
All right. I'll make this pretty quick. I just want to thank my grandmother, my late grandmother. She always believed in me. She always told me, hey, it sounds like they have chicken bones in their throat. And I was like, it kind of does. But I really enjoy it. I want to just thank my grandmother. You know, she inspired me to just keep going. And no matter what, I think that somebody around me or near me is going to be proud of me. And I want this band to succeed more than anything. It's all I think about. It's all I dream about.
I know.
And anybody who's close to me knows.
Like people like me in the media, we know.
Yeah.
People in the underground media, we know.
That's it, man.
And John, I'm just gonna say this, man. Keep going. Don't stop. You know, you're a young man. And I was telling Jericho before you guys got here. I said, when you get in your 30s, bro, that's when you're fucking in your stride. When you're in your 20s, you're a little kid. You don't know what you're figuring it all out. Yeah. When you're in your 30s, that's when you're in your prime, bro.
Fuck, I just
that's
hit 30.
when you're in your stride. I know. You're just barely getting into your fucking stride.
I would say 28.
You're gonna get better and stronger than you are now. You think you're good now. You're gonna get better. You too, Sam. You're gonna get better.
Let's go.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Mondo, I really hope you don't go anywhere because, you know, you can multitask. Bro. Yeah. Time management is if you want to talk about life skills, I can tell you about time management.
Thank you, Rob.
Holy shit.
Bro, I teach business at Palo Alto. I know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Time management is fucking life, dude.
Time management is life.
That's all I really...
Get him to manage time, then you can be in this.
I know.
Okay.
We'll talk later.
I teach a shitload, but the main thing I really just strive into that is fucking time management. To anybody. Like, time management is life.
You spoke to his soul right now.
Yeah. You hit my pee-pee. It's like, dude, time management is everything.
Time management's everything.
Yeah.
You can do it all. You don't, guys. I'll tell you some stories later.
All right.
Okay. But El Mero Metal is not El Mero Metal because he didn't know how to manage time.
Damn, bro. Shit.
It's the truth, bro. I'll
tell
this. You all later.
I'm going to say this. Mondo is my best friend, and he's my brother. And I hope he sticks around.
He will.
But I'm going to let you know Snakefather supports him in whatever he decides to do.
He will. He's going to stick around. After tonight, he will. After tonight, he will.
Keep impressing him.
Yeah. I don't want to see him leave either. Two guitar players. Two guitar players.
Our chemistry.
And Snakefather is the shit, bro. Is the shit.
Our 5-day run, we had two guitar players for the first. Sorry, I'm a little buzzed. But we had two guitar players for the first time in a long time, and the chemistry, I'm just gonna let you guys know, was astounding. I'm serious.
I've heard.
I'm looking to the left. I'm looking to the right. I'm also looking at Jericho. And I have all these motherfuckers losing their goddamn minds on stage. How the fuck are you going to fuck that up?
Yeah, how are you going to fuck it up?
How are you going to fuck that up? Hey, but Snakefather supports whatever he does. I promise you. Okay?
Yeah. No pressure. No, we're done. We got to end out now. Come on. Thank you guys so much. Everybody gave their props. Remember, everyone out there, the brand new one from Snakefather. It's called The Concepts of Torture. It is out. Came out in April. Brand new record, man. Go check it out. Right after you watch this interview, go all to your music media outlets and download it and check it out. Because the brutality, the Texas brutality is real. You saw the band only right here on Rob's MetalWorks.